All right, next we're going to talk about the product rule and the power rule. The product rule says that when we multiply two exponential numbers with the same base, we add the exponents. This is because, suppose that we have 2 cubed times 2 to the fourth. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the fourth is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So here 2 cubed, there are 3 2's, 2 to the fourth, there are 4 2's, and they're all multiplied together. How many 2's do we have now? We have 7 2's. So notice if we look at the exponent here, 2 cubed times 2 to the fourth is 2 to the 3 plus 4, or 2 to the 7th. So this is an example of this rule. The power rule tells us that if we raise an exponential number to a power, we multiply the exponents. Again, suppose that we have 2 cubed, and that is raised to the fourth power. Then we'd have 2 times 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 2. How many 2's do we have now? So you've got 2 cubed, there's 3 of those, and there's 4 copies of that, right? 3 in each copy. Well, if you count them all up, we've got 12. So this is equal to 2 to the 12th. Notice that is 3 times 4. So if we raise an exponential number to a power, we multiply the exponents, keeping the same base. These properties only work if the base here is the same. And we usually assume that base is not 0, because it causes all sorts of problems if we have 0. But as a point in fact, if n and m were not 0, a could even be 0 and this would work, and the same is true here. As long as n and m were not 0 and n plus m was not 0. So let's practice the product rule on the top. Simplify 2 times n to the fifth minus 3 times n to the seventh. Notice we're going to multiply the numbers as usual. So we'll do 2 times minus 3, which is minus 6. Then n to the fifth times n to the seventh is n to the 5 plus 7, or minus 6 n to the 12th. And that is the answer. All right, now let's practice the power rule. Here we are raising minus 6xy squared to the power 3. So this would be minus 6 raised to the third, x raised to the third, and y squared raised to the third. You don't have to write this step, that's optional. Minus 6 cubed, well, you might know that 6 times 6 is 36, but 36 times 6 is 216. Since a minus times a minus is a plus, and a plus times that third minus is a minus, we get minus 216. Feel free to use a calculator to simplify some of these larger numbers. Then x cubed, and then y squared cubed is y to the 2 times 3, or y to the 6th. You might wonder if the power rule applies to the x, but if you think about it, x is really x to the 1, so this would be x to the 1 times 3, or x cubed. And thus, this is our answer. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is finding the product of two binomials. You'll notice here, we don't have a plus or a minus in the middle here. There's no plus or minus. This easy rule only works when you have a term like 2n to the fifth minus, or another term like minus 3n to the seventh. There's no plus in there. There's no minus where you're subtracting the n to the seventh from the 3. It's a single chunk of things that are multiplied and divided together. So in the next section, we're going to talk about what happens if you have a plus in here or a minus in there, because